What's going on, everybody? Of course, I got a fucking fat ass pimple on my face the fucking first video I make. Of course, but yeah, so of course, nobody's really gonna be watching this, but because I just started my Twitter and everything, I'm not oblivious. I know I'm not talking to like an audience, but I gotta get my feet wet somehow in this scene. So today I'm gonna be predicting the Misfits 17 card through all the fights, how I think they're going to end, and I'm going to even try to call the shot if I think there's going to be a knockout, because I feel like I'm pretty good at calling that. So let's go on with the first fight on the card. Okay, so first fight on the card is DTG versus Minicon. Now, Minicon is going down a weight. He said he's the lightest he's ever been in his life. He looks good at that weight, man. He looks like he belongs to be a big cruiserweight in the Misfits division. I think that even his power might even translate. You know, he hasn't been the most technical, but, you know, neither has DTG. But DTG has been better and better every single fight that I've seen him in. So, yeah, this is a good one. This is a really good one. Obviously, Minicon has a pretty big height advantage. He has power, but so does DTG. This is going to be an interesting one, man. Minicon's going to be trying to keep him away with range with the jab if he's feeling technical today. But I'm kind of feeling DTG. I feel like he's going to get inside. I feel like he might get a knockdown or two. And I don't know. Minicon always seems like he could be a problem before a fight, but I haven't seen him really impress me that much so far. I think that DTG may get this one. I'm going to say stoppage by a left hook in the third round. I'm so new to this. This is probably going to be an awful prediction the first time around, but I'm going to say DTG by stoppage in the third round. Okay, so the next fight we got Jake Cornish versus Mike Edwards. Now, I think they're both making their debut. I've seen that Mike Edwards, that is his debut. It's in his bio, but I know that Jake Cornish is a DJ, and Mike Edwards makes relationship memes content. Again, big height advantage here. We got Mike Edwards way bigger height wise in this fight, and then Jake Cornish is way bigger, seems like frame wise. So this is really interesting. I feel like if I take the shorter guy again, it's just gonna seem like I'm biased towards the short kings, but I don't know. DJ might mix them up. Get me on commentary, man. I'm telling you. But nah, I don't know enough about these guys to call a shot or anything, or really make a valid prediction, to be honest. But I'm gonna say I'm going with the short kings again, man. I'm going with Jake Cornish. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with him by decision. Yeah. Right on to the next one. Ben Williams versus Warren Spencer. You know, I'm actually pretty interested about this one. Ben Williams has an amateur background, really good boxer, seems to be a part of the pro division coming up. Warren Spencer also has some fights. He has some fighting experience. He lost his last one, though. Or the one before that, because he said he wasn't training. And then, yeah, because he said that he trained for one, and then he did win. And he is training for this one. Warren Spencer, obviously, I think, involved with Andrew Tate. Potentially could get Andrew Tate's head into the Misfits world, which could be huge. I know there's been talks this whole time, but never really ended up happening with Jake and Andrew, which would have been Misfits, or KSI and Andrew. Never ended up happening. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Ben Williams here. Even though I do like Warren Spencer's energy that he has been bringing. He seems confident, he seems calm, he doesn't seem fazed by everything. I just think Ben Williams' experience is going to be too much for him. Now, is Ben Williams going to get the knockout in front of his home country? I'm going to say so. I'm going to say Ben Williams. Man, I don't know how many rounds they're going in these fights, to be completely honest with you. I think Ben Williams is going to stop him with a right hook later on in the fight. I don't see a way Warren Spencer wins. I know they talked about they're going to meet right in the middle of the ring, and they shook on it. So if that's the case, there is going to be a knockout. Unless they just don't have power. And they both have the experience to be able to put each other out, I believe. So I'm going to say Ben Williams gets it done by a right hook in the center of the ring. Okay, next we got Sami Hamed, Prince Nassim's son, versus Jesse Clark. Honestly, the trash talk is pretty good between these guys. There's two pros coming in, or amateurs, where they say pros for the Misfits fighters. But, man, it's kind of hard to not just pick Prince Nassim's son, right? You would think that they would give somebody that, not a squash match, but somebody that they believe that he can beat to be built as a star like his dad. We'll see if he is as crazy, flashy in the ring as his dad. I'm sure he'll give some flashy moments in there because he's on a big stage now. Actually, let me really quick check their records before I say anything, because I should. So I looked up Sami Hamed. It's his debut. I looked up Jesse Clark on BoxRec. It says 0-31 with 27 knockouts. I don't think that's him. But yeah, he fought from 1973 to 1984. Bro, what a career Jesse Clark had in heavyweight in the 1970s and 1980s, dude. Not one win, lost 31 times. Holy shit. Anyways, they're both making their debut. I gotta go with Prince Nassim's son. They're trying to build a star. They have to be. Is it gonna be a multiple stoppage card? I'm gonna say Sami Hamed by unanimous decision. I'm gonna say he puts on a masterclass out there, puts on a show, and gets him out of there. Maybe not a knockout, maybe a knockout, but I'm gonna say unanimous decision. Okay, next, this is gonna be a long Twitter video, by the way. I don't know if there's like a limit. I really hope not. I'm gonna try to edit it down. Next we got, I don't know if I'm gonna say this is HS Tiki Taki here as the next fight. I'm sure it's not, but it's next year, so I'm gonna do that next. I mean, George Fensom has probably had the most rough lead up to a fight since Logan with Dylan. Obviously, there hasn't been as much trash talk, but a lot of self-destruction on George's part, seeming nervous, cowering up when HS went after him in the press conference. Man, the confidence just seems completely different here. It doesn't even seem close. I know HS Tiki Taki is only trained a week for this fight. So I guess if George Fensom really has the skill to tire him out, maybe he could win. But I don't know. I think HS is going to knock out George Fensom in round one. I'm going to say he steps in that straight right he's been showing. I think he, boom, and I see George dropping down. I think one knockdown over, potentially, is what it seems like in a pre-fight build-up. Let's see if George makes it a good fight. I hope so. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that. All right, next, we got Anthony Taylor versus Gabriel Silva. Now, Anthony Taylor in his last fight wasn't holding, and he was actually throwing hands with Samuel Erickson. Now, if I'm being honest, this matchup may bring back holding Anthony Taylor, because Gabriel Silva is really, really skilled. He's very talented. Man, I love Anthony Taylor in the build-ups. He is so funny. Him as a champion when he doesn't hold, like in the last fight, if he fights like that every time, I am with him being the champion. I am, but Anthony, if you keep holding, bro, we're going to need a new champion, bro. I'm sorry. I rock with you, though. I do. Gabriel Silva, though, way more, in my opinion, way more skilled. I don't see anybody getting Anthony Taylor out of there, man. Anthony Taylor got a granite chin. Idris was dropping him in his fight, but it's Idris. He's a pro boxer. I'm going to say Gabriel Silva also by decision. We got a new light heavyweight champion in Misfits. I say Gabriel is a very good champion to have. He's entertaining in the ring and out the ring. Yeah, and I'm going to say Anderson Silva's son, Gabriel Silva, is going to get this one. All right, next we got Dean the Great, you dig, versus Dave Fogarty. Now, you know what? Dave Fogarty has been really fiery in this build-up. I like this trash talk. I like all of it. I know he has some fighting experience. They are getting somebody that isn't like really prepared, but he is a fighter. He has fought. It's not like he doesn't train or anything. It's not like he's just Conor McGregor's cameraman and that's it. The guy has some experience, but Dean's way too good, man. He's probably the most skilled influencer boxer. Like, some could even say he is more skilled than Jake, but Jake is more powerful. Man, yeah, I'm gonna say Dean the Great by knockout, round 2. And I do like Dave. Dave might bring a fight, man. I hope it's a really good fight because Dave really brings a fire. It's in front of the Irish crowd. It might bring in that fighting spirit. Maybe he doesn't get knocked out. But Dean got those power in the hands at that weight class. Definitely see that right hand coming across. I think I'm going to go again with a right hook to the chin in the second round. I'm going to say Dean the Great retains the lightweight title. All right, and now our main event. Danny Aarons versus Danny Simpson. Now, obviously could have been a better main event. KSI had to pull out due to an injury. Now he has a concert, I think before and after, he said, and he's going to be on commentary during. So, of course, there's going to be KSI fans that come out there that only went there to go see KSI. So I think that's a fair compromise, honestly. Some people complained about it. I don't see the problem with it, but I'm sorry. Let me go to Danny Aarons versus Danny Simpson. Danny Aarons looks like a dog, man. You got a black eye in training. Shows that he isn't holding back in training whatsoever. Danny Simpson didn't even look like he could hit pads. I really hope I'm wrong on that because it's a main event of a Misfits fight. If it's a straight-up squash match and he's not even close to belonging to being there, I know it was supposed to be Bevo, but it's not the best look. If it's one-sided, I know it's to build Danny Aarons. It needs to be spectacular knockout, if that's the case. Danny Simpson also put up his Premier League medal for Danny Aarons' play button, and I know you could argue they're both hard to get, but physical accolades are a bit more tough to argue against, you know? He probably trained his whole life for that medal, man. That's a crazy bet. The stakes are really high. So that's why I'm hoping Danny Simpson isn't just going to get embarrassed in there. You know, if he at least goes out honorably and has to give up his medal, I don't know, man. It's still tough. But I'm going to say Danny Aarons gets it done by knockout, man. I think he's potentially a star in this Misfits scene. He's really funny. He is really funny. He cracks me up. I didn't watch him at all during the build-up. I was watching a little bit, and I seen him during a press conference. He's a funny dude. And he looks like he's going to go in there and fight. They say he likes to get punched. Obviously not the best thing to have. But in this case, it probably is that he likes to get hit. He might just stand in the pocket and just simply land the better shot because he doesn't care about getting hit. We don't know if Danny Simpson likes getting hit. We don't know. He says he has the heart of a lion, though, so I'm just hoping it's a good fight. But I do think Danny Aarons is going to get him out of there. I'm going to say Danny Aarons takes him out with a body shot. I know it's not a spectacular thing, but I think it's the most realistic thing. I think that he may break him to the body and finish him that way. But I'm going to hope for a more spectacular finish. But I'm going to say Danny Aarons by a right to the body, sending Danny Simpson to the ground. He's not going to be able to answer the count. And yeah, that should be all of the fights. Again, nobody's going to be watching this, but people may go back to this, see if I make good predictions. I probably flop pretty bad. But, you know, just getting my feet in the water, like I said, and KSI by elbow in the concert.